All right, guys, I'm gonna share the story of how I got scammed and how this vehicle has been the worst experience of my entire freaking life. Stay tuned. This is a 2004 Ford Mustang V6. Was going to be my daily driver. It's a really nice car. That's the worst part about this, is it's actually a nice vehicle. We'll get right into the story here of why this has been such a freaking joke. So we're gonna start right from the beginning here. I picked this Mustang up for 42 or 4,300, 140K. Thing had plates on it at the time. We met up, we drove it on the road with plates. This will all tie in a sec. And I was like, okay, like sold, this is what I wanted. It was tinted out. Front window had the tinted banner. Front passenger and driver windows had the tint like blackout. Taillights were tinted, headlights were tinted. There was no exhaust on it. I thought it was a muffler delete. So we go to the insurance place. I'm like, okay, I signed the papers. I'm like, all right, we're good to go. I got 30 minutes before I have to go to work. I put it in my name, and all of a sudden, I go to put a day permit on it to drive it. And they're like, you can't insure this car. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't insure it? I just bought it. We just drove it on the road. It had plates on it. They're like, you can't insure it. It needs a vehicle inspection. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just drove it. But in order to transfer it back, it takes forever. And I had a half an hour. I couldn't deal with it, which is unfortunate, just the timing and everything. But he was like, okay, I'll take $150 off to get it inspected. And at the time, I'm like, okay, it must have got pulled over just for the tint. So I was like, whatever, like leave it here. I'll get a trailer, thinking it would be a super easy experience. Turns out there was way more wrong with this freaking piece of shit. So $4,150 now is what I got it for. And it's sitting at the insurance lot all day with no insurance on it at all. So we go back later with the trailer, we pick it up, grab it, take it home. I take everything, all the tint off. I get headlights that were garbage and foggy, better than tinted. And then I took the tint off the rear taillights, did everything to make it pass. And then that's when I realized it had no cats on it. It's missing 4 cats. All it had was the muffler. I thought it was the other way around. I thought it had a muffler delete, but it didn't. And that wouldn't have mattered to me if it was insurable. But I looked, I was like, no way, cats are so freaking expensive. So I dropped $700, got it shipped to my house, new cats, new whole exhaust to the muffler. After I got this home and I did everything I did to get the tint off, I looked at the check engine light. Check engine light bulb was pulled from the vehicle. 8 codes inside the vehicle. 8 codes with no check engine light bulb in. This right here is what you get for trusting people and taking their word for stuff. This is an absolute joke. I'm actually rattled right now, guys. And the fact that there's no check engine light, that means they unplugged it or took the bulb out just so there's so you don't see any of these issues. I just kept thinking, how can this get any worse? Like, it's already the worst thing possible. It needs an inspection. It has 8 codes. There's no cats. This mentally has been the toughest thing. I know there's a lot worse that could go on in life. I'm aware of that. After that, I deleted the codes, put the O2 sensors in. I got rid of all the codes. I cleaned some stuff, all that. So it was all fine, but definitely a huge scamming point. 8 codes, are you serious? So that's when we took it to Surrey for the first inspection. Drove it to Surrey, 45 minutes on a Sunday, wasted my whole day. All for them to say, oh, it needs new tires and headlights before they even take it off the trailer. So I'm like, well, I can't freaking do that. So more months go by. I'm like, okay, I need to do something with this car. Either I burn it, light it on fire, or burn it, or take it to get inspected again. We got brand new tires for the Mazda. The Mazda rims have the same bolt pattern. So I put those Mazda rims on here. And then it had brand new tires. I got nice headlights, put the headlights on, checked everything over. I was like, okay, it's good to pass. Which is the stupidest thing I could have actually thought, because why the hell would this car pass? So I take it to Norlang Auto. This is nothing against Norlang. They were awesome. They helped me deal with it. Took it to Norlang. The only problem is And it just, you couldn't make it worse and worse. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse, this whole experience. I take it to Norlang, and they're like, oh, we need the piece of paper of why it got pulled over. And I'm like, I can't get that piece of paper because it wasn't me who got pulled over. So I called ICBC, I called CVSE, the highway safety or whatever, the road safety. I called the police office. The police office was the only one who could really help. All she said was, I think if you pass it, you can go to ICBC. They can make it insurable. I was like, what do you mean you think? So you're telling me in this whole circle of trying to get this thing insured, nobody has a clue. The shop can't do anything because they don't have the reason why. CVSC's like, get them to do the inspection anyway. So it's like, because I couldn't get this piece of paper, it was the biggest nightmare. Again, the police officer just said, do the inspection and take a note and they'll approve it to be insured. I'm like, they're like, okay, like we'll do it. Norlang, awesome. Nothing wrong with them again, right? They're good. I really like them. They helped me as much as they could. So I appreciate that. But I took it there and it was just, again, trailering it there. Oh my gosh, using my dad's truck, just waste of freaking time. And I took it there. I get it back. Again, nothing against the auto shop. Their job is to make sure these vehicles are safe. I totally understand that. Came back with a $3,300 quote to fix this thing to get it to pass. We're talking rear main seal, which is a huge job. And the rest were minor. So the rest was fine. But I don't want to do a rear main seal on this thing. I'm not pulling the engine. I'm not pulling the trans. I'm just going to roll it down a cliff. So I took it home. And now here we are today. And it has been absolutely a miserable year with this thing. I like these cars. I hate this one. I will actually burn it. I'm not even kidding when I say that. It is this close to being burned. And now let's talk about the next fun thing is Facebook Marketplace. Such a great spot to sell stuff. 50 people message me. Not a single one shows up. I've counted 45 to 50 people. Not a single one showed up. Hey, I'll come today. Oh, I can't. Not a single one. Like, this grinds my gears so much. Now, I still have the car. It's up for $1,500. So I'm losing so much money here. Like $5,000. Still nobody has bought it. I'm debating parting it out. That's what I was thinking about doing at the beginning. But it has been an absolute nightmare. If there's anything that you guys can learn from watching this video, make sure your vehicle does not have a vehicle inspection on it. Which you can't tell. This is another stupid thing. You can't tell until you go to put a permit on it or insure it. Oh, it's in my name. Awesome. Now I have a box in my name. It's such a bad system. The amount of running around I had to do to figure out why this had and why it needed an inspection in the first place was insane. I wasted days of my life dealing with this thing to get absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. I would have been better hucking a gainer off a cliff than dealing with this thing. Like, it's the amount of a passion and emotion I have is like in this thing. It just consumed me. Like, I hate this car so much. Every other vehicle I've had, yeah, you lose money, yeah, whatever. Nothing like this. And the other thing is, going back to the very beginning, this guy, I test drove this car with plates on it. We drove it on the road with plates on it. I don't understand how that guy walked out of there either. Like, the insurance place should have freaking done something about that. He's literally driving it illegally. We drove it to the insurance place with plates on the front and rear. That's why I thought there was no problem here. If this freaking passed, I couldn't even insure it anyways. That's where I'm at. Nobody gave me a straight answer. So this is a very different video. I don't usually complain. I just eat stuff all the time. Like, whatever, it is what it is. But this has been so long, and I wanted to clear up the air of what is going on. A lot of people asking me, how did you get scammed? This is how I got scammed. It's a joke, and I have this trait where I'm very level-headed, and I always try to see the best in people. And apparently that could kick you in the ass if you're too nice. And I think that's where I'm at now, is going to buy cars and stuff. I've been like, oh, this guy's nice. Oh, he didn't know. Like, no, it's a little bit my fault as well. I will take that. But you can see the amount of stuff I've been dealing with. All this while trying to deal with a full restoration, which is right behind you, my Bronco. And it just kills me, guys. It kills me. So takeaway from this, make sure you can insure the vehicle before you buy it. And yeah, I mean, thank you guys for listening through. Please leave a like. Like this has been an absolute freaking joke. Leave some feedback, what you guys think. I can't even like this is the last time I want to say a word about this car. If it doesn't sell today, I'm gonna part it out, but I just can't anymore. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I know it's a little bit like Brandon's just complaining about whatever, but it's just, I thought I'd let you guys know. I'd make one last video of it, and that'll be it. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You guys are always there through thick and thin for me, so I appreciate that. This is a bad experience, and I hope you guys never have to go through anything like this.
Car fleet update.
All right, well, good news. We sold the Mustang, hopefully. It's been a deposit and stuff. After watching the rest of that video, it is what it is. We took a loss, but we're moving on now. Took a big loss, like $4,000, but what can you do at this point? So we're dropping it off for the guy. I said I'd tow it, and yeah, I mean, good ending, I guess. We did eventually sell it.
Don't say anything yet.
Yeah.
Wait till it's
almost
gone.
dummied the trailer off the friggin' curb. Have something in the works for for a new vehicle that we might be buying, so stay tuned for that too. And thanks guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video of what box is he gonna buy now.
A series.
Oh, it's sold.